And here's my next project. It's kind of dark under here, but that's an old Comet cross member that I completely bypassed. It's just real thin. It's got a center mount that goes into the transmission. I didn't like that at all. And I've got a big C4 mounting boss up in here. I've got myself a mount here, and so now I just need to make me some kind of a bracket to go from this cross member piece over here to the mount. I'm just going to stick the mount in real quick and see where I'm at. Alright, well, I got this mount in. It looks like I'm going to need a piece of metal about 7 inches long, and I've got about 2 inches, 7 inches apart, and 2 inches actually, before I do this, I need to level this motor and stuff, put it 3 degrees to the frame, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and then I can start actually measuring more specifically what I need. Did a bit of checking here. Did some checking, and it looks like the frame between 0 and 1 degree down here, just off a bolt in the transmission pan, I'm like 8 degrees, so I'm going to try to let this motor down and see if I can get a little better. Alright, the motor is actually sitting in the cross member right now, and I'm still bouncing right around 2 degrees. And the car says it's 1 degree up, so that means that's also 1 degree up. So if I'm right on 2, if I lower the car, that'll change it by at least 1 degree. Got to get the angle of the motor same as the rear end, so I can either space up these motor mounts and raise the front of the motor, give me more angle, or I can do something with that rear end back there. But this is plenty good for measuring the transmission mount now. As you can see, the transmission's right down into the mount. Can't get no lower than this. So, like it or not, this is where this is going to go. I'm not going to pull that thing and try to modify it or anything. It's so thin, I don't want to cut anything out of it. If I have to, like I said, I'll move the motor mounts. But now I can do a few measurements here. First thing I'll do is measure from the frame to the, from right in here in the frame to over there, and get me a dimension here on the tail shaft. It's right in the middle here, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty close. Get that transmission exactly center, and then fabricate me some kind of bracket between here and the mount up here. It'll take a little done, but I get it done. Did some tweaking and measuring. Now it looks crooked in here, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I tried measuring it from that frame there to this frame here. Of course, this one's bent, so I don't know what's the deal there. It was off too much. I went to that place of the body over there, to the transmission boss here, and I've got them both dead center according to this body. Of course, it might not be on right, not exactly sure what the centering is. Sooner or later I'm going to have to find the center of the car and string a line down it, and I can put a plumb bob or something here, but that's kind of hard looking at this side, but it looks like it's a little too much over this way. But I don't even know if that bracket is perfectly centered. It might have been something different on the Comet transmission. I just don't know. But anyway, I've got it as centered as good as I'm going to get it. I'll leave a little hole in my bolts, and this mount here will move too anyway a little bit. So that's good enough to start fabricating something here. Alright, I got a big piece of angle in here. Got it notched up in there to clear that transmission little piece. I got another piece in here. I'm going to have to do something else, but to get it having to strengthen that little old piece of sheet metal there. But this is good enough for now. I got it kind of jacked up and held in place where it's supposed to be. I got about 1/4 of an inch up there. So when I put it down on it, I didn't want to just set it metal to metal. I don't know, this hopefully this little mount here will take up a little bit in it. So now I'll just tack it together and I can pull the whole thing out, weld it good. I got this cleaned up pretty fair. I welded it on the inside here, and I got another piece of metal. My original piece that went onto this angle iron was too small, so I got another piece welded in there and welded it good on the brace all the way around here in the back, both sides in the front. So that's going to be transferring everything it can to that little piece of metal. Yeah, it ain't very pretty, but it's workable. I'll just throw a little paint on it right now and call it quits for today and put it in tomorrow. That's it. It's not any kind of special rust paint or anything, just black acrylic enamel. Old, really rusty piece of angle iron. I don't even know where I got it, but you can see how bad the pits are. And you kind of look at the way the holes are there. You can see that it's off kind of an angle. I would have thought the bolts and the cross member being straight, everything would have been straight, but yeah, it don't really look right. But I don't know what the deal is. All I know is I measured it, and this thing mounts in there. Mounts in there and centers the rear end. But transmission. Anyway, enough for today.